1021 days. That's how long it took to get here. After countless hours, endless grinding, innumerable anticipations and all odds stacked against me, I did it. I achieved what I set off to do, and this all happened because of one single character. And in order for me to explain this, we need to go back in time, back to the very beginning, back to the very start of this journey, October 12th, 2023. It was just like any other day, but with a small exception. It was the very day that I returned from my short break of games, as I've experienced burnt out and had to focus on some in real life stuffs. Upon returning, the first thing I did was to boot up Star Rail, as I don't feel like playing Genshin yet. Another reason for that was, Star Rail was quite new, and frankly, I love the gameplay of it, but little did I know, this would create a domino effect that led me in this position. All because of one single problem. As you can see, I actually have 3 Star Rail accounts, 2 in Asia server, and 1 in NA. And I had been playing on the NA account mostly, so my Asia account was bad, very bad, down to the point I used it as a wishing simulator and got Jingyuan and Silver Wolf just because I could pull. And guess what? I didn't learn from my lesson, so I went ahead and gotten Jinglu as well. So naturally, I struggled a ton when I progressed on the account, especially facing the deer boss, but after that phase, the account went smoothly, and Jinglu, who I used mostly, grew onto me, as she was cool, she was strong, and had a sad backstory that made me like her. So when I played Fontaine's Archon Quest, I was shocked. Well, it's mostly because of Child being thrown like a ragdoll and how funny it looks. But that's not the point I was trying to make. What I was trying to say is, I saw a familiar figure, who resembles Jinglu a lot. And when I say a lot, I do mean it. Just look at the two of them. It is precisely at this moment I've decided to get this character and have her maxed out, just like Jinglu. But if you look at the date, you'll know that it's still far from the day I'll be able to achieve that. As Skirk won't be released until next year, so I'll have to wait for that to happen. And this brings us to the next timeline, around May 2024. When Escoffier was released, believe it or not, I was actually not that interested in Escoffier at all. Yeah, she can deal damage, yeah she can heal, and of course, yeah she can buff. But I have my eyes on Skirk, because she was finally going to be released soon. But of course, Hoyo just had to make things difficult. As they drip marketed Skirk, who is going to be Cryo. Which forced me to make a hard choice, because on one hand, we got Escoffier, who is a strong support for Cryo, and a potential teammate for Skirk, and on the other hand, we got Skirk herself, whom I may not be able to obtain if I get Escoffier right here. In the end, I decided to gamble on my luck, betting that I will win the 50-50 on Skirk as I use my guarantee on Escoffier. Who knows? 50% is a decently high chance for me to win, so it won't hurt to take this risk, right? But no, that wishful thinking did not happen at all, as the worst case scenario happened. I lost the 50-50 on Skirk, after I spent some time grinding Primos for it, and now I am back to square one. To be honest, I was skeptical that I could even get 80 pulls for her in a single patch, so I had to give up on that ridiculous idea. Fast forward to the present day, which is about 10 months later, Skirk is finally rerunning. And I am determined to get her no matter what happens. Despite having a fraction of the pulls needed, I am confident enough that I can grind all the pulls needed for her. Since I have a few of them, let me use it right away. Veil, no Skirk, but that's fine, as we already have 41 pity into the banner. and I still have the events uncompleted, meaning I can obtain even more primos for her. So without further talking, I'm going to do that right away. Starting from the quest right here. I think I did all that for nothing. Screw that, I'm gonna go explore instead. You know? Like solving a hard puzzle for chess, fighting the evil horse, and roll a wine barrel all of a sudden. Wait, what? Oh yeah, that was for the exploration thing, which I managed to get it up all the way to level 4. Of course, I had to grind quite a bit for that. But unfortunately, that didn't give me enough primo. So I had to continue clearing some quests, getting some chests, and even finally finish the world quest. But of course, those aren't enough, so I spent the entire afternoon trying to complete the entire map. And for all my hard work, I gotten dilute. Well, not really, because it was from a standard pull. But hey, that's 2 free extra pulls for me, can't complain about that. As for the Skirk pulls, I did 12 in total, plus the 2 extra from getting Diluc, but as usual, it was a whole bunch of nothing. At this point, I was tired, so I decided to grind more of them the next day. Fast forward to it, I decided to start the grind with some easy activities, you know, like capturing pictures of the wildlife in Natlan. That's relaxing enough. And by doing that, I managed to obtain a bit of primo as well. Right after that, I went straight to the abyss. No clue how is it relaxing at all, but hey, I still managed to get a lot of primos from it, so it's worth it. At this point, I ran out of stuff that gives a lot of primo for 0 effort, so I had to go back to walking and exploring. In the end, I spent another afternoon just by exploring, and I love the quest by the way, especially the Apocalypse Bunker quest and the Weasel Thief quest. Needless to say, I maxed out the entire map of Not Cry, and obtained yet another 10 pull because of it. Yeah, still nothing at all. So I think it's time to pull out the big guns. Do you see all these story quests? If I am not wrong, story quests usually provide a good amount of Primogems, and since we have so much of them left untouched, we should obtain a ton of them by completing the entire backlog of quests, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go do that real quick and I'll see you once I finished all of them. Well future me here, that was a very bad idea by the way. Oh, you have no idea why? Let me just give you a hint. Could you guess how long it took for me to finish the entire thing? Is it A, 1 hour? Or B, 5 hours? Or maybe C, 1 day? Or lastly, D, a whole week? I'll give you 10 seconds to pick an answer. Well, time's up, and if you guess A or C, you are wrong. And if you guess B, You are wrong too, the answer is actually none of them. Yeah, you heard me right, none of them, because it actually took more than 1 week for me to finish it. Well, to be fair, I had to edit these 2 videos between the week but May. So in reality it took me like 3 to 4 days of 8 or more hours of playing the quest non-stop for me to finish it. Not a pleasant experience by the way, but hey, at least it should give me a lot of primos, right? Surely it's worth it for all my suffering. Yeah, about that not really. It's kinda underwhelming in my opinion, but look at the bright side, doing all that gave us more than enough Mora and XP books to max her. So it's not all that bad after all. Well, until I did the polls. Yes, it happened once again, just like how it went last time I tried to get Skirk. And now, I had to make the same decision once again, whether to go big, or to go home empty-handed. And judging by the length of this video, I think you know what I chose. That's right, I decided to go all out this time. Imaginarium Theater? Yeah, I kinda chose the wrong support character for this initially, but I managed to fully clear it with a better support right after that. And my reward? A lot of Primogems. An entire unexplored region? Yeah, I went through the entire thing within 2 days. Yes, including the ore-making shenanigans, collecting all the hydroculus to max out the statue, as well as getting the entire Fontaine sigil offering from level 30 all the way to 50. And I'm not done yet, because I finally decided to not slack off and went to help all 76 Aranars in one sitting. Also excuse me for the bad quality, I had to turn the lighting up because I can't see anything at all in the caves, and I had to spend a lot of time in there. In the end, it paid up, because I gotten a lot of chest from it. Although there was some small hiccups involving me thinking I found the Aranara in the watchtowers when I didn't, but that only took me like half an hour to figure it out. So it was not that big of a deal, I guess. What's big of a deal was the Sumeru's sigil offering, because I had to run around like a headless chicken in the desert in order to level up the last few levels. And it is 10 times more painful than collecting all the Aranaras. But through my sheer willpower to get Skirk, I pulled through and managed to get it maxed out as well. At this point, I think Hoya pities me and decided to finally let me obtain Skirk.
I am Skirk, disciple of Sertology, the Foul.
Well, I guess it's time for the weapon now. Yeah, I know that was a joke. I don't think I want to grind more Primogems after all that. Anyway, the rest of the process was a breeze compared to the grind. The only thing that I would say went the wrong way was the artifact upgraded, because despite spending all my fragile resin that I saved up for a very long time to get the perfect pieces for her, I only managed to get a few pieces that are considered good and worth upgrading. But of course, the artifact RNG didn't like the idea of that at all, because all of the upgrades went incredibly wonky. Just look at a few of the upgrades go. Also, me trying to get more luck by sacrificing double crit artifacts was not worth it at all, as I may or may not have thrown more good artifacts than I originally wanted. Yeah, I even threw one good piece as a sacrifice, which I kinda regret doing that right now. Vale, can't cry over spilled milk, I guess. And to be honest, it wasn't really that bad at all, as there are still a few good upgrades, just like this flower right over here. So yeah, can't complain too much about that. Anyway, if you ask me if Skirk is worth this entire grind and throwing my sanity away just for her, I will have to say yes. I do not regret doing all that just for her. Heck, I might even do it one more time if it's needed. Okay, maybe not. I don't wanna experience all that grind one more time. But other than that, I would say she is definitely worth it. Just look at this, I beat floor 12 unknowingly by just spamming random buttons with her. And when paired with Mavuika, nothing can stop me at all. Well, maybe the wolf boss where I need to swirl, but I don't wanna talk about that. And her combos are not that hard at all. All I had to do was just walk, which I managed to get it done after a few tries. All in all, what did I learn from this experience? Which is to save Primogems and not spend them randomly so I don't have to suffer at all.